everyone, and welcome back for another edition of 8 Minutes with Aaron. I'm, of course, your host, Aaron. As you can see in the background right here, I am at Target. We are going to go in. We're going to take a look at some Pokemon if it's there. We're going to take some One Piece if it's there. Toys, wrestlers, anything that I can see and get my hands on. And maybe we might see a Funko Pop or two. That might be Husky. But let's get on with a fresh edition of this guy right here, Aaron. Just taking a few seconds with you guys before I actually walk in the Target. What am I expecting? Well, let me tell you, this morning before I went to the gym, I actually stopped in the Target and they had a plethora of Pokemon shit. They had UPCs, they had ETBs, they had packs, they had all these Venusaur and Lucaria and some other shit. Actually, what I mean, Lugia, not Lucaria. But I didn't want any of that. Maybe I picked up a UPC for my boy Tom at work, and maybe I got an ETB because I figured I can get at least 9 packs of the fucking Phantasmal Flames, and hopefully I can get a goddamn Charizard, because I haven't gotten one yet. So let's go in, let's take a look at what they got, because there's another surprise in this whole day that I have not even told you about. So let's go.
Though there was no One Piece, they still have these Avatar: The Last Airbender Magic Gathering cards, which I guess weren't too popular. And then they put these Monochi things up here. I don't know what the fuck that is. And they have, you're gonna Avatar Magic the Gathering. And here's Magic the Gathering Afterdraft. I've never even heard of that. Maybe that's brand new. You got like beginner's boxes and shit like that over here. Still got a bunch of Larcarena and all that other garbage. But we'll have to, drop down and see if they have any WWE cards, because that's what we're always looking for. Got this Batman Metal John I haven't seen before, which looks pretty husky. Nope, doesn't look like they ever restocked the WWE cards. That's all we always look for. Never find them. All right, let's go check the toys. And of course, you know me, I need to also check the official Pokemon side. And it doesn't look like there's anything over here. Kaiju number 8, I haven't heard anything real big about that, which is surprising because I thought that was the hot thing out right now. Just like the One Piece cards. They have all the fake Labubu Johns here. You got like a Terrifier Hangers, Invader Zim Johns, maybe one less bento box or group box, Learn Together decks for One Piece. Now these are like some of the binders I was looking at, but I didn't think they were big enough. Like they only hold like 109 cards or 200. I did see one online that did hold like 999. I'll have to take a look. Someone also told me to look up something else, but I was not paying attention to what it's called. Anything down here? Nope. Not really catching my eye. All right, let's move up. So before we move over to the WWE figures, just checking these Funko Pops. Doesn't look like there's anything really calling out to me. Still haven't seen the One Piece Bibbidi Bops in stores. Nothing down here. Of course, they have the Bullseye playing the guitar. Is Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. I think people were going gaga over that, John. I think this was the one Superman that's been on the other side for quite some time. I'm just looking up top to see if there's anything new. I wouldn't even know what to chase anymore since they moved the sticker off the box and put them on the side. All right, so here's the WWE figures. We're just moving over. We got Shawn Michaels over here. We got the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. We got a couple of them bad boys. You got Razor Ramon. It looks like they're quite organized. Oh, there's Randy Orton now. Randy Orton right here. And underneath there's another Cody, but there's a Cody up here. Bunch of Codys. And still the Cage with Bret the Hitman Hart, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. I think that's Mr. Perfect. Does Mr. Perfect come in this? Nah, that's all that's included is that ring. All right, let's check that back wall. And you know how I like to see these little plushy Johns. They got a bunch of Eevee forms, right? Well, one. I don't know who that one is. Pinkeon? I don't know. But there's Eevee with a bow in his hair, or her hair, I should say. Pikachu with a nice scarf on. All right, let's see what else. No, it just looks like they put the toys up a little bit more organized, but nothing new. Still the same Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super and Naruto characters. Got Monkey D. Luffy. It's the fig art with Johns. Still, haven't picked them up. Do they have anything else other than Luffy? Nah. Oh, let's see. Oh, these Gundams are on sale. That's pretty husky. Oh, Fan Drop Marvel. I don't know what that is. Big Pokeballs. Galaxy version cards, or maybe that's a figure inside of that. See any new Bibbidi Bops? Did we get the new Bibbidi Bops? Nope. And I don't even see a Lilith. Nope. No Lilith. Just going down. Trying to see. Nope. Just a Beetlejuice. Some Ray Johns. That's about it. So just so you don't believe me, this is what they have left of the Pokemon stuff over here. A lot of stuff. I don't know what those packs are. Probably 3 packs. Kangaskhan's, lunch boxes, Venusaurs. A lot of people scooped this shit up. And I think that's a bunch of like Mega something. I thought it was Lucario. But I know they had Lucario earlier and it sold out. So the big surprise was I went to a store that had a Pokemon vending machine, but going through all of it, everything is sold out, which is kind of shitty. But at least we know that one store does have one. So that's pretty cool. I might ask when it gets restocked, but they might not know. But yeah, why not?
So earlier today on our questing, when we went to Acme, I had a conversation with one of the gentlemen that worked at the store, and he told me that usually every hour the machine goes back on and you can get more stuff in stock. So assuming when I went there, I kind of timed myself an hour when I left and an hour now when I'm going, we're going to see if that theory does hold true. Because if not, I'm going to be very upset and say something to this guy. So we are on our way back and let's see what happens. Well, unfortunately, since I came back to Acme, I went into the store, I chilled there for maybe like another 10, 15 minutes, kept refreshing the thing, and there was absolutely nothing that restocked on the Pokemon vending machine at the Acme that I am at. So I guess the hour is very dependable on which product sold prior, or maybe there's like a time, spread between, like if you got this ETB, then that ETB doesn't go on sale. So if you bought maybe like let's say Phantasmal ETB, you can't get a Phantasmal for like 2-3 hours, but within those 2-3 hours, there might be one that goes for like Mega Evolution and shit like that. But since it's all random, it's, unless you're sitting there all fucking day with that machine, you're really not going to know what's going on unless maybe like you time it out and shit like that. But I don't really have the time for it or the patience. As I'm sitting in the car, I'm like, oh shit, like before I leave, let me run in one more time and like hit the buttons and shit. And hopefully something pops up. But I'll be honest with you, I would probably have to stay here probably another 30 to 40 minutes, the bare minimum, to see if anything pops up. Nor do I know technically what is in that machine. They could say that it's fully stocked, but fully stocked with what? Packs, other ETBs, bundles. I didn't even check if there are any bundle boxes on there with, the 36 and shit like that, which I should have checked. That would have been great. So, you know what? Maybe I will go in and check that out. But other than that, look, I'm having salmon for dinner with mashed potatoes and a potato. Actually, it's not mashed potatoes. We're having a regular potato. That's what my mom wanted for our anniversary dinner. So that's what we're going to have tonight. And yeah, that's it. So I guess what I'm trying to say, this day was an up. But overall, I'm kind of a little, disappointed that I wasn't able to go and get anything from this vending machine. So, yeah, so yeah, I will give maybe like one more run in before I leave, and then that'll be it. Yeah, one more run in. Who cares? I don't fucking care. My name is Aaron. Thank you for joining me with 8 Minutes with Aaron. I will see you next time. We're going for more stuff, more things, and of course, more of me. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.